Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations to both of you on your nominations. So the American military is built to defeat our enemies, not to create more of them. And that is why Republican and Democratic administrations have worked to reduce risks to innocent civilians as part of military operations. In fact, the last Trump administration issued DOD's first instruction to establish policies to mitigate civilian harm after concerns grew about civilian casualties in the campaign against ISIS. Now, one of the tools that commanders now have in the toolkit is working with civilian harm and mitigation response advisors, from refining war games to real attack planning in the Middle East and Africa operations, and more. Vice Admiral Bradley, your predecessor at Special Operations Command, recently said that these experts, quote, assisted commanders and their staffs in mitigating civilian harm without compromising lethality. What's more, their knowledge, quote, enhanced precision, preserving legitimacy, and enabling mission success. So, Vice Admiral Bradley, if you are confirmed, will you commit to keeping civilian harm prevention experts at SOCOM to advise you and your team?
Senator, first, just to resonate, it is not only an obligation to adhere to the law of armed conflict to protect civilians, it is critical to our success in competition to represent our values. I believe that every uniformed, every civilian, and every contractor that is employed or in oversight of the use of lethal force has a critical obligation to be able to do that, and I do commit to keeping that as a focus for our command, if confirmed.
That is a strong answer, and I appreciate it. You know, other tools in the toolkit here are the Civilian Harm Mitigation and Response Action Plan and DOD's policy instruction on civilian harm, which outline DOD's plans and policies to reduce civilian harm risks. AFRICOM has made progress in implementing these policies, including through training allies and partners on how to reduce risks to innocent civilians. We are serving as a model that our other partners are now beginning to adopt. In May, the Nigerian Air Force announced its own civilian harm prevention plan. These are efforts that save innocent lives. Lieutenant General Anderson, if you're confirmed, will you carry forward these efforts to integrate civilian harm mitigation planning into AFRICOM operations and train allies in the region to help them do the same?
Senator, to echo Vice Admiral Bradley's importance of this, this is a critically important show of our values. It's also important that we maintain the laws of armed conflict, and when we engage with our partners, that we help them educate and that we model this. And this has been something that when I was at Special Operations Command Africa, we did. We worked with partners, and when we saw things or heard of things that were credible, we encouraged them to investigate and to look into this, and then we gave them assistance as needed in order for them to conduct their own investigation. So I will continue, if confirmed, to take that on at AFRICOM.
I appreciate that. I want to hit one other point here, because we also need to reduce harm to our own special operators. I've worked with Senator Ernst and others on this committee for years to address high levels of brain injury caused by blast overpressure. Exposed service members have reported debilitating symptoms, from seizures to depressions to suicidality. And now preliminary research is showing high rates of heart disease, chronic pain, hypertension, even links to brain cancer and neurodegenerative diseases. Clearly, we have a lot more we need to learn. So let me ask, Vice Admiral Bradley, if confirmed, you'll oversee tens of thousands of special operations personnel. Do you support DOD partnering with outside experts to study the long-term effects of blast overpressure?
Senator, I do. I have seen great benefit from our partnerships with academia and other organizations that are studying this problem critically. Our number one soft truth is that people are more important than hardware, and the critical part of those people is the intellectual capacity. Of course, that is jeopardized by these brain health issues, and we see them as a critical contract with our operators and our operators' families to ensure that we keep them sustainable.
Well, I appreciate that very, very much. If you're confirmed, I'll be calling on you to help us with that. There's language in both the House and the Senate NDAA that would help us get this study, and there are lots of organizations like Home Base Massachusetts who have the expertise to help us get these answers. We owe this to our service members. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Warren.